Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series, episode number 44. And so in this episode, I think what we're going to do is we'll do a little bit of work on making a new tractor. And so we're doing a lot of on land movement here with some trucks. We're going to have to do a lot of trucking for the oil. I worked on the rig a little bit, did some testing. I'm struggling to get the temperature up quickly of the oil for fractioning. So I'm doing a lot of testing with that, trying to get that going and working well. And so I'm gonna have to do some tricks to try to get that where I can heat up the volume a little bit faster. So I figured take a little detour and work on some truck stuff. So as far as truck stuff, what I've been working on lately is I have my Mac Pinnacle 18 speed. So I put an 18 speed in here. And I also, if we look, I have my Eaton Fuller 10. Let me see. Here it is right here. Here's the Eaton Fuller 10 speed. And so what I want to do is I want to make an additional one. So I also have the 18. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and grab the Mac Pinnacle 18 here. And so what I want to do is I'm going to find the micro. I think it's this one up here. Yep. There's the 18 speed. So let's copy that. Let's go ahead and open up the 10. All right. So I still have to do this on the actual Pinnacle itself, but what I'm trying to do is make a lot more modules, and that will allow me to do things like make more trucks. I can release them on the workshop, hopefully, and other people can use them if they wish. And so what we'll do here is let's go ahead and let me see. I need to change these gear ratios, but what I'll do is I'll get these going here. So desired gear, you're gonna plug that in your own, your own desired gear. So it's pretty simple, up down counter depending on how you're doing it with if you want to make it automatic. I'm not going to make it automatic for you. I like a manual, but you could put an automatic system in here and have it count up, but essentially you're going to give it the desired gear. So there are 4 reverse speeds on this particular box. There are 18 forward speeds, low, 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 and then 16 gears above that. And so simple up down counter that counts up 18 and down 4, and I use 0 as neutral, and that will work for you. So we're going to go ahead and let's start hooking this up. So I believe that's high clutch. So that would make this low clutch. So for those who might not know, tractor trailer gearbox, you have a low side and a high side. It's essentially 2 gearboxes squeezed together, and then you have what's known as a range selector, and you change from your low range to your high range, and it's like having 2 transmissions. If you look at, there are some cool tractors that had these really complicated transmissions where you essentially had one shifter for each box, and then you had I'm trying to think if they had, some of them had, I think, like 3 handles. So you would have to work 3 handles to be able to shift all your gears. Now there's a pneumatic range selector. There's also splitters for the 18 speeds in IRL. Let's go high clutch there. Shifter roll. I have to redo the shifter roll and shifter pitch. That has to get fixed to go on the Pinnacle as well. So this is G1. This should be G2. This should be G3. And I'm just going to go through them all here. This way it just ensures accuracy here. 5. And this way it makes sure that I don't screw it up. So here's 6. So 6 is going to go there. Okay. Then we have G7. This one I need to move a little bit to see correctly. So that's G7 right there. 7. This should be 8. It is 8. All right, then we have GR, which should just be this top one here. That's our reverser gear. All right, and that should set that all up. Is anything connected here? No, I don't believe it is. Okay, good. Let me check. Shouldn't be any composites. All right, good. So that is now all hooked up correctly for that. Let's cut that, move that closer. And again, this will be a module that I can use, that you guys can use for any of your builds. And I'll release this to the workshop when I'm done. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. So this is the Eaton Fuller 18 speed. Okay, and this is set up with Let me do backup. I may have already done it, but it's done again. Let's open up 18, see what I did here. Okay, so I didn't reconnect anything, I don't think. I'm just double checking on this one here. Okay, yeah, so I actually, I don't know. Did I don't know if I connected all this correctly. Let me check. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep working on the one I was working on here. And so next thing I need to do is figure out the gear ratio. So I'm going to pull up my my confusing spreadsheet that probably confused everything more than it helps. You know, some people have said that it is challenging them to figure out what the hell is going on with that. But I'll bring it up anyways because it makes sense to me. All right, so here's the 18 speed gear ratios. So essentially gear 1 is either 3-1 or 3-2. Once you get up to gear 6, you're in the high range box, so it's either a 9-5 or it's a 1-1. And so I just need to plug all those values in. So I'm going to put this on the other screen and I'll just start changing values. So the one area we're missing here is, so the way an 18 speed works IRL, let me see if I can bring up a diagram. This is the shift pattern for the 18. And so what you have here is you have your low gears, you have your high gears, and so in a 10 speed, what you do is you go, reverse is up and to the left, and you have a range selector. You can go low range, you can go high range. And so the 10 speed, what that allows you to do is you can go low range reverse, or you can go high range reverse. So you have two reverses. Next, with the range selector down, back and to the left is 1, forward middle is 2, back and middle is 3, up and to the right is 4, down, back and to the right is 5th. Then what you do is you click your range selector and you go back to 1. 1 becomes 6, 2 becomes 7, 3 becomes 8, 4 becomes 9, 5 becomes 10. And so that's how you go through that. The 18 is different. I'm not 100% sure how you're doing. I assume the way you're doing reverse is you go into reverse and you go. So you have something different. Let me see if I can find the actual shifter handle. This air valve, when it's down, is for your low range box. When you click that up, it actually, you can hear it clunk. It moves the transmission parts in the transmission so that now it's working off the high side of the box. That's how a 10 speed works. It just has this range selector. Over here is your splitter. And so your splitter actually goes between the gears, and so it's moving your finer gears. So for example, you would walk through the box. Let me bring up that other diagram here. Right, so I found a better diagram for the 18 here. So it actually shows the knob too. And so this is actually on the tractor so that you could read this and figure out how to do it. So you have a splitter selector here, which is right there. That was that red button I showed you. May be shifted in all gear shift lever positions. You can do that with your splitter. Your range selector is different. You want to pre-select all range shifts. Move range selector before moving the shift lever. Upshifting. I'll talk about that in a second here. Let me see. Start with range selector down, shift low 1 through 4, raise range selector, shift 5, 7, and 8. Downshifting, shift. That's fine. So essentially what you're doing is you're going to keep the range selector down when you're in your low box, and you're going to go low 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go range selector 5, 6, 7, 8. Downshifting, you're going to go from 8, 7, 6, 5. A range selector clicks down, then you go 4, 3, 2, 1 low. All right. Now, the splitter can be moved whenever you want. So, for example, let's say you're gonna split your gears. So as you can see, it only let's talk about this first before we go into that. So what you have is reverse. So you have low reverse. All right. So let's say we want to go reverse 1. Okay. So we're gonna go range selector will be down. We'll go forward and to the left. So we'll go. Neutral is in the center position. That's where it will sit normally, right here. So you want to move left and up. Range selector is going to be down. So now you're in low 1. or reverse 1. Let's call it reverse low 1. Let's call it that. And now you're able to start reversing. Well, if you then click your range selector from low to high and you let your foot off the accelerator, what it's going to do is then it's going to click your low up a gear ratio, and now you're going faster in reverse. All right, generally you don't want to move your, see right here it says do not change range while moving in reverse. All right, so that's just your range selector. You can move your splitter, as you can see, may be shifted in all gear shift lever positions. So you can be moving in reverse. Say you want to go a little bit faster, you can move your splitter to high and get a little bit faster of a gear ratio. I'll show you that ratio from the last video. So if we look at the ratio here, we have reverse 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our reverse 1 is a 15-to-1 gear ratio. So if I have the range selector down, put it into reverse, start going backwards, I have a 15-to-1 gear ratio. If I click the splitter, I now have a 12.85 to 1 gear ratio. You do not want to move the range selector while you're moving. So what you would do is you would stop. You would put the splitter back in the low position. You would make sure the range selector now goes up. And then you would be in reverse 3. So you're probably actually going to have to go range selector up. I would actually pull it out of reverse, put it back in reverse just to make sure it clicks into gear correctly and you don't get any big clunks or grinds. And now you're in a 4-to-1 gear ratio going backwards. Then you can press the range selector to high, and then you have a 3.43. So that's how you would shift in reverse. All right, so now we're going forward. Okay, so we're going to start in low. Now remember, when I built this gearbox, if you were watching, I have low and low, low. Low is the position. So low is from neutral, left, and down. And so this is low, low when you have the range selector down, and you have the splitter on low. All right, so that's low, low. That's low, low. Then you would go range select. I think it's splitter. Let me see. Yep. So this should be splitter now. So you would go splitter, and you would go. Now you're at high. All right, so you would split, so you could click this forward. So now we're in low, we're moving forward. All we have to do, so our foot's on the accelerator, we click the splitter forward, let our foot off the accelerator, now we're in low. So we were in low, low, now we're in low. All right, now we're ready to shift to first gear. All right, so what we want to do is we want to click our splitter back to low. All right, now we're ready for our shift. We let off the accelerator, we click it into neutral, and we click it into first position. So now we're in 1 low. All right. Then we want to go up a gear. So what we do is we leave it in this position. We click it to high, let our foot off the accelerator. Now we're into 1 high. All right. Now we want to go to 2 low. So we click our range selector back to low, let our foot off the accelerator. We pull it to neutral, pull it into 2, and now we're in 2 low. Now we're ready to go up a gear. We click it to high, let our foot off the accelerator. Now we're in 2 high. All right, we want to go to 3. 3's up here. Range selector goes back to low, let our foot off the accelerator, up and through into 3. Now we're in 3 low. We want to shift again. We click our range selector to high, let our foot off the accelerator. Now we're in a 3 high. All right, ready to go to 4. Range selector comes back to low, foot off the accelerator, back to 4. We're in 4 low. Click the range select or the splitter back up to high, and let our foot off the accelerator. Now we're in 4 high. All right, we're ready to shift to 5. Now you see how it's white. When we want to go white, as you can see, we have to go to the we have to actually move our range selector instead of our splitter. So actually we do. So let's say we're in 4 low, click the range selector to high, let our foot off the accelerator, we're in 4 high. Now we want to go to 5 low. Well, we need to click our splitter back to low. Range selector now goes to the high position. We go, let our foot off the accelerator, shift up, over, and in a 5, we're in 5 low. Splitter high, let our foot off the accelerator, 5 high. Splitter back to low, bring the shifter back. We're now into 6 low. Splitter, foot off the accelerator, 6 high. Splitter goes back to low. Let our foot off the accelerator, shift in a 7. We're in 7 low. Splitter goes forward. Let our foot off the accelerator, 7 high. Splitter goes back to low. We shift back to 8. Then we're in 8 low. Splitter goes forward. Let our foot off the accelerator, 8 high. That's our final gear. So that's how it works. It's complicated, but it's actually pretty simple if you're actually running it. It'd be pretty simple. Let's say you're going up a hill. You're in your top gear, which is 8 high, and you are starting to lose revs because you're trying to pull a heavy load up a hill. Well, what do? You would switch from high to low. You just click that down, let your foot off the accelerator. Now you've gained essentially half a gear ratio, and now you're in a lower gear. It's best to think of it as an 18 speed. You're actually going down a speed. And let's say you need to go, okay, we're still slowing down. We need to grab another speed. You click low, shift it down to 7. You're in 7 high. And then, okay, you're going up the hill. You're still losing a little speed. Okay, now you're starting to get down towards 1,000 revs. Click it to low, let your foot off the accelerator. You split that gear. So that's how it works. I know it sounds complicated, but the difference is this. When you're shifting these intermediary positions, for example, when we're going from 6 low to high, the shift knob does not move. You're just moving the splitter. When we go from 6 to 5, though, we are moving the knob. And so I need to know that to be able to set up this movable shifter knob to be able to visualize it in game. So again, that probably confused everybody, but that is a lot of people are interested in how it actually works. So this section here actually is how my shifter moves. So we have shifter pitch and we have shifter roll. And it's going to be different on the 18 speed than it is on the 10 speed. So let's quickly grab, let me make sure I save this. Okay, let's load up the Mac Pinnacle. This is the 10 speed, and I'll show you the gear shift pattern. And this is just for a little bit of RP, just to make it look right. So let's go ahead, and I don't even need, so right now we're in neutral, so we're in the center position. Let's go down a gear, so press the down arrow. Actually, we're in first. What we're in? Okay, that's neutral. We started in first. All right, so that's neutral, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Now we would click the range selector to go in a high box. Now we're going to go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then if we go all the way down to 1, that's reverse, and reverse, not yet, reverse, reverse 2. All right, so we're going to do this with the 18. So we need to change the 18's pattern. And I'm going to use that diagram that I showed you to accomplish this. So, all right, so let's get the shift pattern right. And so I have the diagram off the side so I can see it, and we'll figure it out. So this is the 10 speed here. So it changes a little bit, not a ton. So 1 is now going to be low or low-low. Low-low being the lowest. And then the low being when we are in high range low. I know this is probably, just as I say it, I can tell that's just probably confusing people. But, this is something you get used to when you actually operate the equipment. I've never operated an 18, but I've watched videos on it, and it's not that much more challenging than a 10. All right, and so the two elements I have here are shifter pitch, which is forward and back, and shifter roll, which is left and right. And so, for example, this is going to be the same as the 10 speed for so what I'm doing here is I'm reading off of the desired gear right here. And so it's all with threshold gates. And so what I have here is, this is just moving it down. So when I'm in -2 to -1, so this is going to change from -1 to -4 because we now have 4 reverse gears. It stays in reverse the whole time. It stays in the left. Let me bring it up so you can see it here. So when we're in reverse, it stays in this left forward position the whole time. The difference is we can either go, if the range selector is down in the low setting, we can go low or high. When it's in the up position, we can go low or high. So that gives us 4, right? 2, 2, positions with it down, 2 positions with it up, that's 4. And that's all we're doing there. So for this particular thing we're working on, this is going to stay in the same position from -1 to 4. That stays in the same. Let's see, the next one. So what we need to, so this here is shifter pitch. And so pitch is, we have 3 pitches. We have forward, we have back, and we have center. Those are our 3 pitches: forward, back, and center. And so I need to figure out which thresholds that works for. And then what we have, so that gives us our shifter pitch. And if we look here at these numerical switch boxes, -9 is probably our, I don't know which direction it's going, but let's say it's forward. -9 is our forward position. +9 is our reverse position, and 0 is our neutral position. All right. Then we have over here, we have shifter roll. We have 9 is our full left, -9 is our full right, and then 0 is our center position for our shift, for our roll of our shifter knob. So I need to figure out which ones of these are going to be, so this currently is, let me see where we're at here. All right, so all of these here, let me actually change these. We'll do a Boolean. We'll change this, why not? And let's go, let me see how many I need. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5, so that's close, but no cigar. All right, so right here, let me actually just do this. This is going to be easy. So we'll grab one of these, and this will allow me to get rid of the ors, all these ors. So this is going to be any of these thresholds will now activate the forward position. So let me see. So I know this is forward position because reverse is forward and to the left. So this is my shifter pitch. That's forward back. So this is whenever the gear is in any one of these slots, it should be forward. All right, and then this is going to go down to here, and then all of these can go, and then this now replaces those, like so. All right, so pretty simple that. All right, so that now replaces all those. Now I need to make sure I fix the numbers, and I'm consulting the diagram. So reverse is -1 through 4. That's forward. What else is forward? So low is going to be, low and low are 1 and 2. All right, so that is going to be a back position, so that no longer works. Let me see. See, the difference is that they're called low, and then the actual numbers come up higher, and so I might change that in what it shows, but let me see. So low and low are 1 and 2. 3 and 4 are going to be there, so it's going to be 3 to 4. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let me see. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 7 through 8 will be forward like that. All right, so that does that. And then what do I need next? So we have, oh, the counting's tough here to get these just right. So let's see. I need to count out the gears. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 11 and 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so that should work to get us through the positioning on forward. So that's all the forward. As you can see, forward is -9. It splits, it sends it up to -9. And then what am I? So anything, so the default position off here is going to be, everything else is the opposite position. So forward is actually forward is -09, backwards is 0.09. So if I don't have any of these, it defaults to forward except if 0, 0, which is my neutral. So it will default to the other position unless we're in the neutral position. And then that will default to the center position. I know I'm probably just being super confusing, but it makes sense to me. All right, down here, now here is roll. So we have to go through the rolls. Let's grab another one of these booleans and make it better. So these pluses, all I'm doing with the pluses, that allows me to drag the number wherever I want it and clean up my lines. All right, so now we need to figure out the left-right position. So we can tell that left, so this is our reverse. So that's going to go to -4. We have 4 reverses now. So that's the full left position. All right, so if we go through here, all that goes up there. And then the full left position is going to be -0.09. That's full left. All right, and so what do we need for full left? We need reverse. All right, we need low and low low. So that's 1 through 2. That's low and low low. All right, and then so right over here, let me see where I'm at here. I'm confusing myself with my own lines here. Let me fix this up. This is screwy here. I need to move that so I can see. All right, so the left position, let me check. Left position is actually +0.09. So all of these that go here need to be that. So let me see how many we have here. So left is going to be -4, 1 to -4, -1 to -4. 1 to 2 is low, low. That's left. That's everything that's in left. Okay, so that's all that's in left. So that's really simple. That can go to a simple OR now because the shift pattern changes a little bit. So that is now good. All right, so that goes there. Just move a bunch of crap here. All right, so that is shifter over to the left side. Next, we need to do the shifter to the right side. Shifter to the right side is going to be right here. That's -0.09. That's shifter to the right. All right, so we need to do all of our shifters to the right side, which should be, yep, 9. So 4, 9, and 5 is the 10 speed. Those are all correct. So now we need to see shifters all the way to the right side. So this is going to be, let me see, the problem is, again, I have to add 2 to every one of them. So that's going to be 5 and 6. That's 5 and 6 will stay in this position here. All right. And then what do I need there? 6 and 7. No. Hold on. The problem is I need to count them out, right? Okay. The problem is that, I have the splitter going too, so I have to think of the splitter. So 5 and 6. I'm just going to count them out in my head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have to recount them in my head. That's going to be the easiest way to do it here. So low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, 7 and 8. 7, 8. Okay. 9, 10. 9, 10. Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right. And then that will be 17, 18. 15 through 18. Let me check all of them. I should be able to get them all through there. Let me see. So this should be 7 through 10. Let me try this, see if I can get it down to this number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so 7. So that will work, 7 to 10. That does work. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, good. So that works. So these two here can go into an OR. So these will be all of the lefts here. So that will go over there. Much simpler now because you're using the splitter for a lot of your gears, so you don't need all of that, really. Okay, good. So that's there. So we actually probably don't need this. A lot fewer movements to do this. And then every other one is in the center position. So we don't need to do all of them. We just need them to be in the center position. So that should set that up. So that works. Okay. I know I probably just confused everybody, but it's that's going to give us the right positions. And so I'm going to test it here in a second. And what we'll do is, all right, so let me test this. Let me copy this, Control C. Let's go ahead and we'll update this. We'll save this. And what we'll do is we'll test it with the Mac 18 speed. All right, here's the 18 speed. And so what I should be able to do is go in here. And I should be able to stick that there. And I should be able to grab from my shift selector to there. And I should be able to go U and, where is it? U. Good, and I should be able to go like that. And now this should slot in. And that should work. Like that. Hopefully. All right, so let's go ahead and update this. And let's go ahead and spawn that. And this should go in the right positions. So I'm going to call it the position first and then make sure it goes in the correct position. Make sure my... All right, so we're in first gear. So first is low, low. So that should be back and to the left. I should shift up to 2. You'll see 2 on the gear indicator here. And it should not move. It should not move. And we hear the clunk. That's good. All right. When I go to first gear, that should be forward center. When I go to 1 high, it should remain in the same position. Perfect. When I go to back to 2, it should be back and center. It should stay in the same position when I split it. It does. I should go up to 3, which should be forward right. Split it, stay in the same position. 4, back right. Split it, stay in position. Okay, now it should go up into center forward. It is. Split, same position for 12. Now I should be going back to the center position. Split it, forward right. Split it, back into the right. Split it, there's 18. Okay, so that is my gearbox. Nice. Let's go down to reverse. Should be forward left. This should stay in the same position the whole time. Reverse 2. Reverse 3. Reverse 4. Back to 1. Should be left and back towards me. Perfect. So that works. Beautiful. And I actually don't need to put a clicker in there because you can hear the gears clunking. So that's kind of making splitter noise. I could put a splitter noise in there, but I don't think I really need it. So I think that works well. So that is all set, I think. So that was getting the positioning correct. That's gravy, man. That really works well. So that's awesome. So this is up and running. So let's go ahead and save this as the Mac Pinnacle 18 speed. All right, so let's see. We'll continue this episode a little bit here, trying to get this chassis set up. And so here's the 10-speed chassis. And so what this is hopefully going to allow me to do is build some trucks that look a little bit different. And having this chassis, and so the 18-speed chassis is easy. All I have to do is put that in. I'm going to hopefully, I don't know if let me check real quick, see if I've released the 10-speed. All right, so I've not released the 10-speed either. I will release that. So if we look here, let me type in Eaton So these are my 18 and my 10s. And so I'm going to release these. I'll do a 13 speed as well. That should be pretty easy for me to do and convert that to a 13 speed as well. So what this will allow you to do is you'll grab this module, and I'll make the workshop page so you can see it. So we want to put our, you know what I'll do? I'll do this. Take an impeller here. All right, and that is going to be the impeller for the turbo. So fluid out, fluid in, fluid goes in here and then into the engine. That is the impeller. Now, I actually don't want it on top. Let me change that position. Let me change. I'm just trying to clean these up. I'd like to get these out in the workshop and to you guys. So what I did here was, where do I have it on my mat on the pinnacle? Let me check the pinnacle, see where it is. I may have put it somewhere else. I was concerned about where it's positioned, but I don't think it matters all that much here. Yeah, see, it's definitely not on the top. Where did I put it? I put the turbo. Where is the turbo? Where are you, turbo? Here is the turbo. Here it is right here. So, okay, so it is there. It just comes way off like that. So, yeah, let me see, where's that? Okay. So, yeah, that's fine. Let's grab those back up here. All right, so this here is your impeller. And so what I might do is just this so people know you can move it. But you can move this impeller wherever you want it. Like you can move this like you saw how the piping there. And so this is your intake impeller. And so what this does is that will run it at, whatever speed you're running the engine at. It's pre-geared essentially. So before you get into the gearing, because the majority of the gearing we're doing in this truck is down gearing. And so because you're down gearing it, it's going to slow the speed of the impeller, giving you less air. And so this, by putting it first here, it's going to give us the most amount of air we can get off this engine by putting it right there. So that's our impeller right there. And so to hook this up, it's pretty simple. You want to plug the clutch here into the back of your engine. And then you want to plug in your, this will go to your air manifold here. So I could do this here. Air manifold. So that will show you that goes into the air manifold. I'll do an air intake here just to show people that's how that should essentially be set up. And then what I'm going to do here is let me move all this. This is kind of is in a bad spot, so people just don't know what's going on. All right, and so that will go like that. Let me delete that. All right, so that's your shifter there. And so actually, you know what? So generally where this goes is actually right above the transmission, like so. All right, so I'm trying to put this where people can kind of figure out where it's supposed to be going here. Let's grab this. So I'm just trying to package this so it's a little bit easier for you to understand where it's going. All right. And so this will be your shifter for your truck. Let me move this now that it's not. Let's align that properly. All right, so this is the shifter for your truck. This is your transmission. So it will eventually come down here, and this will hook into your wheels. So you want to put your rear axles here. If you want multiple axles, that's fine. You can cross T-pipe them. And this goes to the front. Now, I tend to do fronts just because by doing front wheels, it makes it work better in game. Let's get the 10-speed package. I want to be able to get you guys this 10-speed as well. So, like I said, I'm trying to do some modules. I'm trying to put some more stuff back on the workshop so you guys can use it. And so this allows you just to drop the transmission in. And so let's do same thing here. And so this, again, you don't need to keep these parts. The air filter, that is just telling you what should be connected to that. Hopefully making that a little bit easier for you. All All right, we'll cut that. And that should be easy for you to move these and cut these. And so those are all the necessary parts. Now, again, you can trim this however you want, but that's going to be rear axle, that's going to be forward axle for your actual drive wheel. So let's save that. All right, and so that's the 10-speed and the 18. I'd like to get those on the workshop. I can't promise it's going to be soon. I have to make the workshop page. I'll do a explainer video, but that's done. So next we have chassis. All right, so the chassis, essentially, you could, are like this. A lot of tractors even share chassis. Like the Mack Pinnacle might share the chassis with the Mack Granite, and you're just putting different cabs, different motors in there. And so this one, as you can see, the motor is hooked up to the transmission, and I have some stuff hidden under there. And then these are all the extra panels there that what I'd like to do is get these all hidden up under the chassis somewhere that you don't see them, so that it's kind of one unit. And then what you can do is build on top of that. For example, like I have where's the Titan? So I started working on this. This was going to be my road train. And so as you can see, it has the chassis of the Mack R. It has that drop axle on there. It has all the Pinnacle's guts. What I'm gonna do is build out the chassis and then redo this, so it'll be a different kind of a different setup. But that's kind of what I want to do there. Make some chassis, and then you guys can just do whatever you want to them. You want to build a Peterbilt, you want to build a Freightliner, you can just take the guts and essentially make it. And that'll make it a little bit better. So let's see, what do I have in here currently? See, like I have no motor in here. And so this was a pain because, it's easier to build up the chassis. So really quickly, let's see. Let's grab the 18 speeds. Let's work on, so I have that 10-speed chassis. Let's finish up the episode by building an 18-speed chassis. So here's my 10-speed chassis, and I'm just going to connect up the shifter with this. Make sure this shift pattern is correct now. All right, so here is the gear here. So desired gear comes off of that gear indicator there, off my engine, and then I'm trying to just do this like this. So G8, G8, G7, G7. You see, it's actually not all that hard to convert it. So what's that? That is 6. 6 goes to 6. There we go. G1. We'll go to G1. G2. These are kind of easy on the side. The ones that stack are kind of a pain. G4 should be this one here. 4. Yep, 4. 5. 5, just checking it. 5 there, okay. 6. And then GR is, you see that's going to lights, and if you want to put a backup buzzer and alarm, you just hook that in as well. So right there, I think is my switch there. Let's see, reverse alarm. I don't need that anymore, because if it clicks the reverser, it should put the alarm on. So I should fix that. But all right, GR. So find GR, and then that will go to these as well. These are just my backup lights. They only come on the tractor. And then low clutch is going to be, it should be left side, I believe. Low clutch. High clutch should be this clutch on the left here. Okay, what else do I have here? Clutch, the main clutch. Nope, that's shifter roll. I'll do that in a second here. What's that? Shifter pitch and roll. Shifter pitch. Shifter roll. All right, where's my other clutch? Okay, so the other clutch should be dictated by the by this engine here anyway. So this should be all disconnected pretty much. Can't see anything else connected on that. Nope. All right, let me check it. All right, so this should be good to go, and And then I don't need that reverser alarm one because if you click it in the reverse, it should sound the alarm. So just that beep beep alarm. You know, tractors I've driven don't tend to have those. Tend to just honk your own horn. All right, good. So that's set up now. So this is now the 18 speed. So you see how quick and easy it is. Just convert it over. It's just a panel change. So this is the Eaton Fuller 18 speed chassis. All right, so let's work on this a little bit. And so I kind of want to, let me bring up some reference material and show you what I'm working on. All right, so this is a Mac Titan. This is kind of my reference material. It's not going to be a replica by any stretch of the imagination, but work on this a little bit. So pretty much all I'm kind of winging it. I'm going to make this part of my Pat brand. I don't think I'm going to do a Mac. I've already changed the engine out to be the Pat branded engine. And so nice curved flared wheel wells with a squared off hood. Pretty, you know, it still has a slope on it, but it's a reasonably squared off hood. So I'm just going to make like a beefy looking truck essentially. All right, so what do we want to do here? I'm trying to think. First thing probably is the grill. So let's actually save this as the, where did I not save it? I did save it right here. 18 speed chassis. And then let's bring up the Titan there. All right, and so like I put a grill on here. I didn't put the grill on there. I didn't even do that. Okay. So that's really not worked on at all, really. Kind of see what I want to play with some shapes here really quick. So I'm trying to save myself a little bit of time here by doing this. By bringing some components, that's going to make it easier. I'm kind of digging it. It's a little bit short. Fenders are looking a little bit weird, maybe. I like this fender here better, so let's grab this fender. Just trying to grab some shapes and make it work here. And so it's hard to tell with this like being lower than that, what the size difference is going to be. So I'm just playing with some shapes, trying to get this kind of looking all right, and then I'll actually grab these parts in and stick it on the chassis. Turn on symmetry would make life a lot easier. All right, and so that's kind of my flared wheel arches there. Those could actually probably come down one, but let's move the wheels to be centralized, more centralized in the wheel wells here. Because this is, you know, the guts are going to stay the same. All I'm changing really is the... I just want to try to figure out the hood, and I'm going to put the hood on the chassis. So this is just the shaping on this section, and then I'll end up moving some of these, the hood into the other, the hood will move on to the other build, essentially. Okay. All right, so that's kind of that's sculpting up nice. And once I kind of get a hood in there that I like, I will move it over. But of course, I didn't have symmetry on for this, so that screwed up. But part of this is just trying to get things built more quickly. Is instead of rebuilding an entire truck, I pretty much just have to rebuild the cab, and like all the gauging and everything still works the same. All right, let's see. How's that step looking? Not a huge fan of the step here. All right, so let's start cutting some stuff. All right, so I'm going to cut here. All right, and let's hope we can let's finish this wheel arch here. So often you'll see on these trucks that have to go kind of off-road a little bit. Let me see, you are 1 tire radius. What are you, 1 tire radius? Okay, so they're both ones. Let's go ahead and stick this in the chassis. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this, and then that will allow me to paint it a little bit easier. So we have our cab pretty well set up here. Because I already did some work on this, so I don't want to redo it. Let's save this as... Let's do... All right, Mac Titan backup. And now that should have all of my cab. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and we want to copy that. Let's go ahead and want to grab the 18-speed chassis. Actually, let's go to a new vehicle. And let's stick this in here. It's just going to make it a lot easier to get this integrated. All right. All right, let's say this is Mac Titan cab. All right, because I don't want to have to I don't want to have to hook up everything on that dash. That's part of the reason I'm doing this like this is so that I don't have to do that sort of stuff. And so all this like dash can go away because I'm going to use the dash off of the other one. And then what I can do is color swap this out to like this gray. We'll paint a little here. That's the nice thing is I can color swap by pulling it in here. All right, nice. I don't. Why did everything get swapped out? I didn't mean for everything to get swapped out. There we go. Okay, nice. Yeah, so it's just a little easier to paint. So the blue color is not staying. The blue is just there to essentially... The blue is just there as an easy color that I can swap. Okay, that's good. The problem with these, you know, it's nice having a big, tall deflector on the top, that wing, the air deflector for aero, but the nice thing with it is it also makes it a breeze to hide microcontrollers by not doing the deflector. I lose a lot of microcontroller space. All right, so that is good. It's kind of set up. And there's something wrong on this side right here. What goes there? Just a block, okay. Just color the inside of the hood, kind of this color. And I'm, again, not using bucket because I end up having to fix what it screws up. So I find it quicker and easier just to do this. All right, so let's save this as Mac Titan cab. And then we should be able to go into the 18 chassis. And we should be able to take this in. This is kind of the whole concept of this is by doing it this way, we should hopefully be able to just slot things in. Now, it's going to probably need some tweakage, but hopefully not a ton. All right, and so I have seats built into this cab already, which I don't want. All right, there we go. Cut that again. All right, now see. I'm trying to see what I'm hitting now. Okay, microcontrollers. And where am I hitting them? I'm hitting I'm hitting the top of the shifter there, so that's about as low as I can go. All right, that's fine. That tells me where I can go to. All right, so I'm going to split this into two pieces anyway because the hood actually articulates and the cab itself is non-articulating. So let's get the cab set. So the cab comes down and that's as low as the cab can go. All right, and now let's go. So the cab floats on air suspension, and then the hood is on a hinge. All right. All right, nice. So let's start rebuilding and fixing this and doing whatever I need here. Nice. So this is making some good progress here. So let's go to threes. Macs tend to have a pretty small windows, and I kind of like that. But modern trucks have much bigger windows in them for greater visibility. Yep. And then this will get merged up. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to click merge first. There we go. So that is now part of that. This is gonna need some looks department. This whole back wall needs to come back one. Let's cut this. But you see, it's much easier now to build a fresh truck by having this chassis. Everything's gonna work, and so I just need to do the visual elements. And so I don't really like these huge windows. I'll figure that out later, but let's go ahead and drop this in the world, see what it looks like. The hood's not attached, but it's just kind of floating. I just want to see what this visibility looks like in this. I can't with a window in there. All right, so visibility is pretty good. So I'll do a big window in there. This can go down, make that window bigger, put the armrest here, and we'll do a door window in there, I think. It's coming along nicely, I think. It's really starting to look the part and be very interesting, I think. That's starting to get where I want it to be. And so that's getting there. So let's work on this just a little bit more, and then we'll call it an episode. So we want to go, let's see, like that. But yeah, you can see how it's much quicker to get a truck put together now, and that's what I wanted. It was just taking me forever to get trucks put together. And so what I think I'm going to do, I'm trying to see. So let's grab this fender here. Go up one more. Cut you and we'll move you down one, like so. And the fenders stay with the hood because all that's going to tip. The fenders tip as well. All right, and then we need to adjust a bunch of this stuff. So I started working a grill, but I have to put a new grill on there anyway. You see what I can do with this pyramid, 1x4 pyramid maybe. Yep. No, right there is screwy if I do that. Yeah, let's see this back section here. That looks funky on back here. Let's try something here. Let's go 1x2 there. That's going to be funky here, but I might round this, fix this a little bit here. Because I think I'm going to change this whole nose design here. The problem is I need a 1x3, and we don't have 1x3s, of course. I'm just going to delete a bunch here, and I'll rebuild this. It's not the end of the world to have to rebuild this. So. And so I'll put in a paint blocked grill in there. Hard to get some of this right in game to look correct. But I'll try some things, see what happens. If I don't like it, we can do something else. But just testing some ideas here, see how this fits. A Boston accent there for you for a second. Comes out now and again. It's the nice thing about this not being a replica is I can kind of take some liberties with it. Probably want these to come out one, but again, this is going to be my own design, so. How many blocks do we have? 3x? Crap. I'm going to need an XML something if I'm going to put it there. I could do a 2 and then let's try this. Yeah, that's looking a little bit more like a matte granite. This is funky, but I can push that over a little bit to get it less funky, I think. It looks kind of beefy. I just want this to look like a beefy truck. Kind of looks more like a matte granite, but then what I want to kind of do, I think, is come in here and cut all this out like that. What did I just do there? That's flattened out there. See, this angle here is funky. A little funky and a little weird. If I can fix this, I think we fix the look of that. This is looking a little peculiar in here. I need to fix this. Nope, definitely not that. This area in here, this fender connection, I want the fenders to look a little bit different. But yeah, so kind of the long and the short of what the point of all this is just trying to get a chassis set up that I can quickly put together a truck and have a new truck without having to reinvent the wheel. This angles in here looks really funky weird. This section here is where it's screwy. Trying to get this area kind of cleaned up in here. Yeah, see it. I need it like to shelf a little bit more. So let's try something here. Putting big beefy fenders on tends to like make the truck look a little bit beast. And that will square this out a little bit, I think, and make this look a little less heinous. Make it have really big fenders on it. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking that. I'm digging that. That's looking pretty good, I think. Let's work on just a hair, trying to get the... Let's see, where can I get this? 1, 2, 3. Try something here. We'll finish up in a second here. I need 3 glasses in there. Get some glass in there, and then I will check it out, and then we can finish up. I just have to make sure that this is all where it needs to be so that... And I'm just going to do this really quick here. I'm just going to do this. This is not how it's going to work, but this is just there to keep this connected for now. So this will just go like that. All right, and that will just keep that so that it can float. Let's see, give me this gray here. Then I want to fix this door, so let's do that, that. Okay, and I want to do black window, and then the window is going to stay out for now, but I'll put this in really quick. Just want to kind of see how this window is going to shape up there. This is generally where you put your blind spot windows down here, so you can see if there's a car sitting right next to you, like that. And I'm just going to cut out that window so I can easily get in. Let's do a quick test, and then I think we'll call it there. Nice having a new truck. Going to be my own brand. Good visibility on here. There's a blind spot window. Nice viz on here. Put windows in the back, but yeah, good visibility on this. Feels good in here. And then we should be able to, microcontrols aren't on the body, but yeah, you see, so that should allow me to do, see, the roof was a little high. I need to bring the roof down one, I think, and we'll be in business. But looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and save it up. Not that, you ding dong. Don't want to save the world, does that. Let's go ahead and all right, so that now saves that so that we, can easily take a chassis and then build the truck up on it. You want to build a sleeper, you can extend this out, put a sleeper on there, all sorts of stuff. Generally, a sleeper goes here on the back deck. But hope you guys enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next one.